Welcome to another episode of It's a Game with John, where I'm doing solo plays with some cool games. It's another game that hit early access a while back. I haven't paid attention to the status of it, but it's still real fun. It's called Nuclear Throne, another roguelike shooter bullet hole hell type game where you just try not to die, pick up guns, and then shoot things with other things. I'm not good at it. And like I get killed a lot when I play this game. Let's see here. So to mix things up today, I got this list of questions sent to me by other members of the team that I have not actually seen yet, and I'm about to read it out. And I do believe what we're doing is sort of like pseudo intros of the new members of the team, like myself and Mark. And let's see here. Gotta hold up. I'm gonna bring it up on my phone. Okie dokie. Let's see here. So I guess you could call this it's a let's player. I know a guy who actually laughs like that. Let's see here. What's is your name and what do you do at It's a Game? Well, you already know. I've done a few videos. My name's John. And I'm basically the PR manager and one of the Let's Players at It's a Game. I asked Jordan and Eric to do things with the social media and make videos, occasionally have new ideas to get us more likes and views. I'm not terribly great at it, but we're getting better. Hopefully, onward and upward. Let's see. Another next question. Do you poop standing or sitting? Oh, I poop standing. I'm a standing pooper. Sorry, Mom. See what the internet does to people. Are aliens real? I think, with the amount of biological diversity in the world and with how big the universe is, I think it would, it wouldn't surprise me entirely if there was an intelligent life in other parts of the galaxy, because the galaxy is such a large place when you actually sit down and think about it. And I think there have been actual leaked documents about aliens with regards to the U.S. government. So it's sort of I don't think we're necessarily going to be invaded or anything like that, but I do think there certainly are other forms of life in the galaxy that we don't really know about, and that's okay. Can't explain everything in the world. How do you know Eric and Jordan? Eric and Jordan and me met in middle school and high school. We were nerdy band kids. And we sort of stuck together. Met Jordan on the bus and Mark on the bus. Probably known Jordan and Mark for 15 years apiece. And in high school everybody was getting trashed and going to parties and stuff like that. We're all on a Friday night, we're hey, let's play real-time strategy games and Mega Man 2. That sounds more fun to me. I think I have low blood sugar purely because of the amount of sugar I ingested at LAN parties playing with the guys. Favorite video game? Super Mario 3 for the Nintendo. Easily, hands down. It's a classic. I think there's a lot of stuff that like the game does well, and even to this day, if you compare it to like modern games. Like it's got very tight controls. It's got unique levels. It changes up the way you play the game with each progressing of the level, while also, you know, teaching the player through gameplay how to move on to the next skill level. So ultimately, it's like a very classic, well-designed game. And it's also quite pretty, which helps. And like I remember, like, you know, everybody has their little like. I think everybody has like this little moment in time where like gaming was magical for whoever. Like for me, it was you know, I think I was a movie like rental rat like as a kid, so I would constantly be bugging my parents to like go rent shit, and we would go to like a movie store and like I'd be like, oh, this is cool. When I saw The Wizard, I rented it, and like I saw that trick where like in the first castle in the game, you get the Tanuki suit and you can get another flute. I only knew about the flute where you drop through the platform in like I think it's 5th or 6th level. Like I only knew about that. So that for me was like, whoa, what is this? And that's such a simple thing, but that was like really like a magical moment for me. And yeah, I did get into like modern games a little late because my parents were, when I was growing up, were the kind of people who were like, they bought older systems so they could like buy me a lot of games on the cheap at like flea markets and stuff. So I would like, I got like, you know, I got Super Mario 3 when the Genesis was out, or yeah, when the Genesis was out. And then I asked for like a Nintendo 64, and they gave me like a GBA, stuff like that, or a GB. So like, you know, I was usually one step behind, but in the same sense, I was usually playing like, you know, really old school games. His favorite, no, worst video game. Battletoads. It's a game I wanted to like as a kid, but it's just so hard that like no one can beat it unless you're like absolutely do nothing but play that game. Also Sonic 3D Blast. I think that was the first time I've really ever been like disappointed in a video game throughout my entire life. And like especially as a kid. Yeah, that was I think the first moment where I was like, this is supposed to be a Sonic game. Because I was coming off of Sonic and Knuckles and Sonic 3 and Sonic 2. And obviously really good games. And then going to Sonic 3D Blast and it's like, favorite hate play? Oh, let's see. What game do I like hate yet play anyway? Anime fighting games for sure. I hate the aesthetic, but some of them have really solid gameplay. Bible Adventure and Bubsy the Cat, because I think I have a soft spot for them because those are games I like really liked as a kid, even though they're terrible. And like, I think it's hard for me to like just say like I absolutely just hate a game. It usually has to be like completely unplayable, and even then like I can usually like have that sort of James Rolfian MS3TK sense to like, you know, if I can't enjoy it, I can just make fun of it. But for actual like, oh fuck this, oh okay, I'm playing it anyway, those two, Bible Adventure and Bubsy. Going back into like the whole video game thing, my mom would always buy me like educational games and stuff, like Christian games like Bible Adventure and Math Munchers and stuff like that. And my dad would buy me like Super Dodgeball and Contra. So like you know, I played a number of like really, really bad Christian video games. I like how in that game you can like it encourages you to throw baby. Oh man. Like there's just a bunch of dumb stuff in that game. I think there's a part of the game where like you're trying to like protect a baby from a bunch of Egyptian soldiers, and like a lot of time you're just throwing the baby around the whole level. And like you can throw them into the you know, if you fuck up, usually you end up throwing them in the river. So it's like, oh, I killed a baby. Pretty much. Nope. Oh, let's see here. What would you rather be shot or stabbed? I work in a field where we constantly use our hands and sometimes aren't allowed to wear gloves because of the kind of work we're doing. So stabbed handily. Where do babies come from? That would be the perineum and or taint. The grundle, the fleshy fun bridge, the Jesus zipper. What do you think happens after we die? I honestly don't know. Something. I like the ideas like that there are multiple planes of like causality where like we made different decisions in life, and there are like alternate universe versions of ourselves. And I like the idea that we slip, like when we die, we slip into another realm of existence, or simply cease to be, or like stuff like that. I think reincarnation's neat, but I wouldn't want to like move lower as far as reincarnation goes and become like a grub worm or something. It's cool when it benefits you, basically. What would your porn name be? Perineum or Rip Thunderchuck. Would you rather fight 100 duck-sized horses or one horse-sized duck? I'm gonna go, neither are good options, and both would probably kick my ass. But if I had to choose, I'd probably go for the large duck. So I think that would probably be I would fight the duck head on. That would just be that. And I would die. I would have an epic death via duck. And let's see, what was the main thing you've been watching home in your spare time? Finished Luke Cage, and I mainly in my spare I like regular show a lot. I like animes like Mob Psycho and JoJo. I have a chronic addiction to cooking shows based in like back in college when we had like no money for like actual food, so we go to the dining hall and get shitty food. But prior to that, we'd like make ourselves super hungry, like have a giant hunger boner by just watching nothing but hours and hours of cooking shows, being like, oh, I wish I could cook. And now what's funny is a lot of I work in like a construction field, so a lot of the guys, like I'm the nerdy guy at work, and they typically stereotype me as the guy who goes home and just does nothing but like playing video games all night. It's like, no, I have sleeping problems, and I grab something on the way home, I lie down in bed, and I turn on Cutler Kitchen and go to bed like 10 o'clock. I'm an old fuddy-duddy. any games, current games I've been playing recently. A lot of roguelikes like this and Enter the Gungeon. I beat Doom recently, and I beat Wolfenstein: The New Order, which was also super good. I think going forward, me and Mark are gonna do a couple playthroughs of like 90s style Twitch shooters in that same in that same realm. I'm a big like neo, like what's the word? Like the nostalgic games nowadays. Like I'm big on like the games that like bring back that sense of nostalgia and sort of the same style of gameplay that we had with games when we were kids. And stuff like Broforce and like Shovel Knight. Although, you know, my favorite genre, period, is fighting games. I do play Street Fighter V a little bit every once in a while. What's something most people don't know about you? I have a chronic addiction to chick flicks, particularly the work of Sandra Bullock. And same with like more girly considered TV shows. Like How I Met Your Mother and well, Supernatural's like, I guess that's like a weird thing to say because gender's fluid, but I think there is a larger female fan base for that particular show, and I particularly enjoy it. I used to watch a lot of Charmed as well. What would your stand from JoJo's Bizarre Adventure be if you had one? It would be it would be good Charlotte with the ability to melt and unmelt things. And then I would use that ability to melt and unmelt and increase the matter of Popco's of Brian Blessing's character in Flash Gordon in order to exponentially increase my powers via the power of Brian Blessed. Focusing right now. Okay. What is your role? It's a game beyond your position. Jordan likes to phrase it that I'm the quote-unquote Ninja Brian of It's a Game. I like to phrase it that I'm like more like Charlie from It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia, or Wooly from Two Best Friends Play, where I'm sort of like the side guy who people barely tolerate, but he's just there because he's a necessary evil. I think that's a good way of putting it. Let's see here. What music am I currently listening to? There's a band called Ghost that's like all Satan-y, but like it borrows the ethos of black metal but uses it in a parodic manner more akin to stuff like Kiss and Alice Cooper. And they're really good. They sound like Blue Oyster Cult basically. Yeah. Mainly them and like a little like 80s like, you know, Kiss, 90s Crazy Town, Michael Jackson, Prince. WuTang Clan. What is your social security number? 298538977. Use that. You probably need more than I do if you're using it. Coolest YouTube video you've seen recently. It's not a new one, but my favorite YouTube videos from this wrestling company called PWG. It wrestles out of Reseda, California. They're probably the second biggest independent promotion in the US, and they had a match where one of the bad guy, Adam Cole, is like, "Suck my dick, Roddy."
Combination before Roderick Strong. Oh!
To the baby face of that situation, Roderick Strong, and Roderick Strong gets on his knees and starts smiling.
Now,
I did turn my phone off for this one, though.
thank you very much. I appreciate that.
I think he's gonna suck his dick. I think he's gonna suck his dick.
And waving him over, and Adam Cole's acting all gleeful and like rubbing his hands together, and it's like, oh boy, it's gonna happen. And the crowds the entire time is chanting, "Suck his dick, suck his dick, suck his dick."
He did say "suck my dick," which is Adam Cole's go-to. Yeah.
And then like Roddy just blasts him in the penis.
Here are the Dojo Bros.
Oh! He chopped him in his dick. He chopped him in his dick.
Like just straight up like gives him a chop you could probably hear from outer space. And like, oh my gosh, that's probably my favorite of all time for YouTube videos. They also had a really good one where they did a bit where everybody wrestled in slow-mo.
Reaches back and Ace
And one of the guys who did it was talking about it on one of his shows. Chuck Taylor was talking about how like he was waiting for the guy to put his like thumb in his taint, and he was in slow motion, and the crowd was in slow motion, and he's just thinking to himself in that situation, you know, wow, this is what my life has come to. I can't really blame him in that situation. Favorite movie, Commando, tied with Back to the Future. I believe that's probably my favorite. I think Commando's like the ideal like super quotable like dumb action film at the height of Schwarzenegger mania. And I mean Schwarzy's just so quotable, like endlessly. I love his like awkward quote where he talks about coming and going and coming and coming.
I'm like getting the feeling of coming in the gym. I'm getting the feeling of coming at home. I'm getting the feeling of coming backstage when I pump up, when I pose out in front of 5,000 people. I get the same feeling. So I'm coming day and night.
Man. Classic Schwartzy. I think about right behind it would be Terminator 2, which is probably the best action movie of all time. I like Back to the Future just because like I am an 80s fanatic, and that was fucking stupid. I think we're gonna end it on this one because I think I've been rambling a pretty good amount about myself, and I think we're right on 25 minutes, which is my cutoff at least. So I'll see you guys in the next Let's Play, and have a pretty cool October there. Yeah.